Hey everybody, and welcome to this video. This is going to be a really quick everyday makeup tutorial. This is basically how I wear my makeup, going to work every day if I'm in a rush, like on the weekends if I just want a really quick simple makeup look. This is what I do, but pretty much if I'm wearing makeup to work, this is the look that I do just because I feel like it's super simple, super pretty, like evens out my base, gives me a really nice color to my face, and it doesn't take super long. It takes like 10-15 minutes. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how I do my everyday makeup, especially for the weather when it's getting hotter outside. These are just the products that I like to use to help it stay in place all day. So if you're interested in seeing what I do, then go ahead and keep on watching. So after I get out of the shower, I do my normal face routine. So after I wash my face, I just use a toner, a daily face oil, and then a gel moisturizer, and I kind of let that settle in while I moisturize my body and maybe do my hair, so it gives it a few minutes to settle in. So I did go ahead and prep my skin, so we are all ready for the makeup. So the first thing I like to do is I like to prime my face, and I use two different primers. I'll use like a primer water spray, and then I'll go in with my actual face primer on top of that. So lately I've been really enjoying the Smashbox primer water in the So Chill coconut version. I think this was actually a collaboration with Nicole Concilio, I believe, so I'm pretty sure it's only limited edition, but it smells so good. It just reminds me of summer, and the bottle was so pretty, like I had to get it. So I've been using this lately. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of spray my face and just let it hydrate my skin, and I kind of go ham with it, but I do the most. So I just like my skin to feel really hydrated throughout the day because I do have oily combination skin, and in the summertime I like to put more moisture into my skin so that my skin doesn't kind of overcompensate the dryness by adding more oil to my face, if that makes sense. Because I've heard that a lot of times when you have oily skin or combination oily skin, your skin's actually dehydrated, and I feel like I'm saying skin so much. But your skin is actually dehydrated, so it's overproducing oils to compensate for the dryness. So I like to put in a lot of moisture and a lot of oils into my skin so that I don't get oily throughout the day. So that's just how I do. So once that's pretty soaked in, I'll go in with my actual primer, and I've been really enjoying the CoverFX blurring primer. I actually got this in my BoxyCharm this month, and I've pretty much been using it ever since. So I really like this because it does have that silicone smoothing texture to it, but it's not like overly slippery. This really reminds me of the NYX pore filler primer. It has like that kind of feel to it. Like, it's really nice and smoothing, but it's not super slippery like the Smashbox Photo Finish primer or like the Maybelline Baby Skin, like those kind of silicones that are like super slippery on my face. Like, I feel like this kind of sinks into my skin really nicely and smooths it out. So I've really been liking it. I definitely think once I run out, I probably will repurchase because it's just been really good for my skin, and I find that I don't get super oily throughout the day as well. So even though it's not a mattifying primer, I do think it does help with keeping me a little bit more matte throughout the day, which I really like. So yeah. Then the next thing I do is I actually go straight into my foundation because I don't really do much with my eyes. I don't really care to do my eyes first. If I was doing like a makeup look where I'm going to be using eyeshadows and there could be fallout, I'd probably do my eyes first, but just because I'm usually in a rush and trying to just going, I like to get my base done, and then my eyes and eyebrows take like 2 minutes, and so like on my way. So the foundation that I've been using every day is the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation. This is such a good foundation. I have a first impression and wear test on it, so if you guys haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. It just shows you like how it lasts throughout the day and how good of a foundation it is. So I really like this because it's not super heavy, but it still gives me good coverage. So I just think it's a really good like everyday foundation, and so I just take the foundation all over my face. With all my foundations, I don't really focus a lot of it underneath my eyes, just because I'm going to go in with concealer anyways. What I like to do with this foundation is I like to go in with the Kokie 618 brush. It's just a really big, fluffy, like, foundation brush. It's just a really, really good foundation brush from the drugstore. And I just blend in the foundation. And you can see it gives me, like, a nice, pretty full coverage, but still looks super natural, not, like, super cakey or anything like that. So I just really like this foundation for every day. But yeah, just kind of press it into your skin, and then I like to go over it with my beauty blender just to make sure everything is blended out and soaking up any of the excess foundation that's like sitting on top of your skin. So then once I have that done, I'll just go ahead and move into my concealer. And the concealer that I've been loving for every day is the NYX HD NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer, and I just love this concealer. It's really nice. Again, it gives me really good coverage without being super heavy. So again, it's been a really good one for everyday wear. Because when I'm doing my makeup for every day, I'm looking for products that give me coverage but don't feel super heavy on the skin, especially at this time where it's like really hot outside, because I do work with kids after school and a lot of times we do take them outside, so I'm in the heat and I don't want my makeup like sweating off throughout the day. So yeah, to the center of my face first to kind of let the concealer settle a little bit underneath my eyes so that it's a little bit fuller coverage when I blend it out. So you can see it's just super natural and just a really pretty concealer. So as you can see, it's a super nice concealer. It blends out really easily and it does just give me that little bit of coverage that I do like underneath my eyes. And I go like a little bit lighter than my skin tone. I don't like a super highlighted look underneath my eyes. I just do like maybe half a shade or a shade lighter just to give a little bit of dimension without going over the top. So then what I do is I'll go in and set it, and I've really been liking the Col-lab Set the Stage powder. I also recently got the Peach Perfect powder from Too Faced, and I really like that. I just find that that has like obviously like a really peachy undertone. So for every day I like to go in with the Col-lab one just because it's translucent, so it doesn't really give much color. So I'll just take it actually on my sponge and just kind of press it into the under eyes. So I don't bake with this, I just really set my under eyes with this. And you can see it doesn't alter the color, doesn't give it any kind of tint, whereas with the Too Faced one it gives like a little bit of a peachy tint, which I don't really like for like an everyday look, you know. And this reminds me of that in the sense that it's super smoothing. So personally I think I do like this one better, but it's all personal preference. So I'm going to kind of set the areas of my face around where I'm going to contour, because I have been into cream contouring just because I feel like it's super quick and just really natural looking. So I kind of go around the areas that I'm not contouring because I don't want to set that area yet. So speaking of cream contouring, I'm going to go ahead and go into that step now. And I've been using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation as my cream contour. I just go in a deeper color. This is like my everyday shade, and then I have one that's a little bit darker for when I want a more dramatic contour, but this one is in F13, and so I just use this one, like I said, for like my everyday one. You can see it's not that much darker, but it does, when it blends out, it's just such a nice golden color. It's so pretty. And I only do like certain areas at a time, because when I first did it, I like kind of put everything on, and then once I got to the areas that I did last, it was kind of set and dried a little bit, so it was harder to blend out. So I definitely recommend kind of doing it one area at a time so that it doesn't dry before you can blend it out. And so what I like to use to blend it out is this e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. I just find it so perfect to blend out cream contour. So you can see it just blends out so nicely and gives me like a nice golden tone to my face. It's so pretty. Then I kind of just take whatever's left over up on my temples just because I don't need like a lot of product up there. So I just take like whatever's left over just to give a little bit of color up there as well. And then just do 2 light stripes on my nose. And honestly, like when you're doing this, if I wasn't talking and explaining, like I could do this all super quickly, but I'm stopping and kind of telling you about everything, so it's gonna take a little bit longer in the video. But trust me, like on every day, like once you have it down, like you can do this so fast. It's so quick. Take the sponge and blend it out a little bit so it's not too over the top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set that contour, and I've really been liking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer Collection. This is the one that you get at Walmart for like $12. I know they do have another version of it at Ulta for like $30, but this one works just fine. And this one is the medium deep color, so it has like their butter bronzer in deep, and then it has their butter blush in Vintage Rouge. And so that's what I use for like my setting my contour and then also blush, so it's really convenient because it's all together. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into the butter bronzer and just set where we contoured. Just give it extra color. Then what I do really quickly, just because like you can see like there's not really much definition here, I'll just go in with that powder and just kind of place it there right underneath the contour to kind of clean it up a little bit. You can skip this step if you want. It's up to you, but I just like to have like a clean looking contour underneath, so I do this step, and I'll just leave it there for a minute or so. So I'll just go into my blush while that kind of settles in, and like I said, I'm just going to be using the Vintage Rose blush for that. So just take the blush, and I like to focus it like towards the back of my cheeks. It's just always how I've done my blush. Then whatever's left over, you can kind of bring it inwards. Then just take a stippling brush and dust away the powder. And then just blend out everything at the same time. And then just for like my everyday highlighter, I'll go in with the Wet n Wild Golden Flower Crown highlighter. This is just like one of my favorite highlighters. Just do a little bit. It's like really natural looking, but it still gives you like a bit of a pop. So just pop that on. I'm not one of those people that like a super intense like highlighter like for every day. So you can, if you want, you can kind of like intensify it by adding some spray and going over it, but I think for me that's fine. Like this is good. You know what I mean? So then I'm just going to go ahead and set all of that with the Makeup Revolution Sport Fix Extra Hold Makeup Fixing Spray, and just spray my face. So recently I've actually been really liking the Anastasia Beverly Hills, not brow definer, what's the other one? The Microbrow pencil? No, it's NYX Microbrow pencil, but basically like the Anastasia version of it. But I have no idea where it went. Like I literally don't know. I looked in all of my brushes. I looked like in my drawers, like I don't know where it went. So for now I'm just going to be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. Honestly, I like them both. I just got the Anastasia one because it was on sale for like $10 at Ulta during like their beauty steals or whatever, so I figured I'd just grab it. So this is just the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in black, and I'm just going to go ahead and like outline my brows pretty much. And my brows are like at a struggle point right now. I haven't gotten them done in so long, but I just work with them. So like I said, I'm not really doing the inner part of my brow. I'll actually go in with a powder, and I'll show you that. I've really been liking powder again lately, so I'll show you that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go into filling in my eyebrows, and recently I've been really into powders instead of pomades or using the pencil for my whole brow. I used to use powders a long time ago. Like, I would love the e.l.f. eyebrow kit, and I would always use that to do my brows, and then, you know, pomades came along and I just kind of fell off of it. But recently I have been back into the powder game, and I actually use these powders right here. I'm going to try to be careful because this is like a really cheap, like $1 compact from e.l.f. that I've had forever. So these are actually from the brand Profusion, and I got them at TJ Maxx, but they came in like this really big bulky case, and it had like a wax and then something else that I wasn't using. So I just depotted the actual powders and put it into this, so it's a little bit more compact and not taking up so much space in my collection. It's basically just look like a knockoff of the ABH brow powders, and they work. So yeah. So basically what I do for my brows is I take this color right here. It's like a deep brown. You can use this one. Sometimes I mix them, just, you know, like a dark brown color, and just start filling in the outer part of my brow. So I kind of start in the middle and work my way back, so that front part doesn't really have any product in it, because I'll go in with a lighter shade for the front. And for me, like, that's good enough. Some days I'll spend more time on my brows. Sometimes I won't spend as much time. Some days my brows are, you know, working with me. Some days they're not. It's just kind of like hit or miss. So do whatever works for you. And then I'm just going to set these with the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer in medium brown. Okay, so those are my eyebrows. Honestly, they're not perfect. I don't go in and try to define them and take all kinds of time, because again, this is like an everyday look, so I'm not trying to be super perfect. I'm just trying to get them filled in and give them a little bit more shape. So you can spend however much time you want to on your brows. All of this is personal preference, you know, just tweak it however you want and spend time on the areas where you feel like you need to spend more time on. But I'm just going to go ahead and move on. The last thing that I do is just go ahead and curl my lashes and apply mascara. Then I just apply a little bit of highlighter to the inside of my eyes, and we're done. So just going to curl my lashes. And the mascara that I love for every day, and this is my favorite all-time mascara from the drugstore. Since I found it, I've been super obsessed with it, and it is the Essence Lash Princess Volume Mascara. It is so good. Like, literally, watch this. Make sure you don't have too much product on, so you don't want it to get like super clumpy. So I'll just kind of like rub it on the outside so it's not too much product. So it just makes my lashes a little bit darker and a little bit longer. Like, can you see the difference between this one and that one? I hope you can tell on camera, because I can definitely see it. Like, looking in the mirror, I can obviously see, like, this one has mascara, but it looks super natural, like I said. So it's a really good everyday mascara. I just really like it. And I feel like I have so much product. So that is all I do for the eyes. If you want to take some extra time, you can put some bronzer in the crease. Honestly, for every day, I just kind of skip it. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. So just take a little bit of the highlighter, or a lot. Do like a little bit underneath the brow. Then I will go ahead and do one final like blend with my stippling brush. Make sure everything's blended out. spray one more time. So then the last thing that I do, because I don't really wear a lip color every day, is I'll just take like a lip balm and put it on. And this is my everyday look. Excuse my hair, I don't know what's going on. It's like super poofy. Ignore that. So, but this is my everyday look. Honestly, like I said, it takes me like 10-15 minutes, maybe sometimes 20 if I'm really like spending a lot of time on my eyebrows, if I have an extra bit of time. But you know, you can kind of alter it and do it as quickly as you want. Focus on certain things, not focus on certain things. Like I said, it's all personal preference, and you can tweak it how you like it, but this is like my everyday makeup look. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know down below what products you guys have to use for like your everyday look. You know, like something that you can't go without. Like, do you have to use brow products? Do you have to have mascara? Like, what's something that you like have to use every day? So yeah, let me know down below in the comments, and also let me know what other videos you guys want to see as well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.